Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another episode of Here's Our Resume, or Here's My Resume. I don't remember what the fuck it's called. The Work Stories Podcast. We're back because LikunMiffery is once again sick.
You know, like when you're at a football game and you get to that point where you have to shake the keys. We should have like a Lycus is sick alert or something.
You should do. You should.
Everyone.
I have a great idea. You should do the thing when the Minecraft and it's like Tyler's doing nothing again. And it was like a raid party. You should do that for Lycus. That'd be funny.
Lycus is sick. Woo!
But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff that I did job-wise while I was in high school. It was fairly minute. Noah's going to be doing stuff with concessions, which is very relevant in today's landscape of local sports. So.
You froze so bad there. I did not hear a single word, but I'm going to hope it went up good on your end.
I think it did.
You're recording, so we're fine.
So there were 3 different main jobs that I had, quote unquote, around jobs. I never got paid for any of these jobs. Just want to put that out there. This is all volunteer work, right? Either to boost my, what's it called? The fuck is it called? Boost my thingy for college, whatever the fuck. Is it really just called college resume? It can't be resume, right? It has to be something else.
Application.
College application. There we go. It was either to do that, it was mandatory because of the sports that I was playing, or that was it, really. That was the only 2 reasons. The first one I want to talk about, I don't know if I should say the real name of it, because it might dox us.
Scaring away on Pomeroy.
I don't know if I should say this name. I think I'm going to say it anyway.
Which one is it?
It's the blank crew, the one that I... You can see it in the
blank crew?
You can see it in the doc.
You're gonna make me pull up the documentation?
You gotta pull up anyways. You got stuff to talk about too. After I'm done.
All this stuff I just know, and like for this episode and for the next episode, I could just talk endlessly. So, did I cut out massively there? Because It looked like I might have.
No.
I froze.
There was a Verizon outage today, so thank God I'm on Wi-Fi now.
Oh, Ram Crew? No, that's not that bad.
Okay.
We don't go to the Holt anymore.
That's true. It was called Ram Crew. Basically what it was I did this when I was a junior in high school, which, funny enough, that was when COVID hit. So, I never really finished out...
How funny is it, really?
I never finished out this program. And it was kind of a mess because of COVID. But it was a mess to begin with because I was part of the inaugural crew. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. They did a great job trying. Like, they had a great game. They had a good game plan set. They were prepared. But shit hit the fan fast because, funny enough, freshmen don't give a shit about socializing.
Wow.
Who would have known?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, it wasn't like they were rude or anything. They were just very antisocial, and it was also, like, early as fuck in the morning when we would ever do anything as a group. So, of course, nobody's going to be energetic at 7:30 in the morning. I wasn't. Why would I expect these people? Well, it's different now because I'm an old soul, so I wake up early and I go to bed early.
I'm an old soul, he says. Dog, you've gone to bed at 8 p.m. for years, so I don't even want to hear it.
Shut up. Shut up. I went to bed at 11 p.m. last night.
I know, only because it's football season, and for some reason your, like, awakeness changes. Well, I know the reason, to be honest, but, you know. What is today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday. I was streaming last night, that's why I stayed up so late.
Ah. How did I miss that?
Anyway, yeah, so it was a lot harder to interact with people than I thought. And also, like, I was only a junior in high school. Like, I didn't have the same talking skills or same, like, conflict resolution plans that I do now. Obviously. It was a long time ago. It was over 6 years ago that I did this.
Wild.
And, the other person that I was leading with the first year, I didn't know her at all, and so we never really got along, like, because we didn't know each other, so it was weird, but it was fine, I guess, like. And then, like, one of our first tasks was when we got the names of the people that we were going to be, like, in a group with, and that we were going to be mentoring, quote-unquote, mentoring throughout the year. We had to call their parents. And, you know, nowadays I make a lot of phone calls, right? So, not something that is super difficult for me anymore. At the time, it was very difficult because I've never done something like that before. And it was...
And you're a goober.
It was weird. Very weird.
And you're a goober. A goober.
I'm a goofy goober.
Goober!
But otherwise, I mean, the program otherwise was fine. They had lots of cool, like, bonding activities planned, and then there's, like, you know, cool, like, orientations and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, it was all, for it being at the first year and all that sort of stuff. Like, I got this cool t-shirt that I still have, and it was, you know, it was fine. And then COVID hit, and just kind of gave up on the program. They tried restarting it during the COVID year, which was my senior year. And I think we had like
interesting.
I think we had like 2 meetings. And that was it. I remember the first meeting that we had because our Wi-Fi went out during the meeting, and so I couldn't join the meeting. And I was one of the leaders, so that was bad. But, I don't know, I mean, like, I barely talked to my group mates. They never came to us for any issues. And I don't even know if the program's still going. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. Simply because it never got the chance to take off. Which sucks. But...
Sucks what?
Circumstances of COVID.
Circumcision? You know that causes autism?
Tylenol?
No, circumcision. It's another thing I was going to talk about on the podcast we were supposed to do today. RFK says that circumcision causes autism.
Whatever. Yeah, so it was a fine program. I put it on my college, I'm going to call it fucking resume. I'm going to call it college resume. Put it on my college resume. Don't think it really impacted anything. But it was a nice piece to the puzzle, and I can say I did it. I was a part of the inaugural crew. One of the last, probably. Which sucks. So I don't know, that was Ram Crew. Wasn't anything else crazy. Like, it's just another one of those millions of things that had so much potential and then COVID killed it. So, there's a promising story. So there was that. Speaking of another thing that was affected by COVID, 2 separate times during high school, I worked concessions for sporting events. The first time I did it was for a football game And then the second time I did it was for a basketball game.
I remember very specifically the day you did the football concessions, because it was either... I find it hard to... I'm like frozen again. Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, good. I keep worried. I remember specifically the day you did concessions for the football game, because it was either the same day or the day after. It would make more sense if it was the day after, because of how late the football games usually go. Unless we just decided, hey, let's do a podcast, because back in podcast times days, there was one, and we actually talked a little bit about concessions and working concessions in that episode. And I remember very specifically there was a story that we told from me working concessions at MSU, which we'll get into in a second, about this fat lady who was drunk and then fell. Maybe that was you. Maybe you told that? I don't remember.
What?
But I do remember that story.
I don't remember that. It very well could have happened. It very well could have happened, but I don't remember it happening.
I remember the story, but I don't remember who told it. But I do remember us recording, like, pretty soon after you worked concessions at that football game, because we talked about it on the podcast. That was, like, one of the things we talked about.
Yeah, I don't remember...
Maybe, you know what? For the first time ever, I'm going to edit this episode, and I'll put in the clip, insert clip here, of whatever that story was. Over the weekend, I did very few things, but like you, I went to a game. I went to the MSU v Penn State game, but I was working concessions, right?
Yeah, so you didn't get drenched in the monsoon that it came over our state.
Dude, it was nuts. But I was outside the entire time, in the stadium still, but I was doing the ice cream concessions or whatever for the shit like that.
I did concessions for our, like, Rams football game the night prior.
Anyway,
we can get to that later.
Tyler.
Let's continue with you.
So I was there the whole time, and my mom told me, hey, we're gonna go to this game, right? Because originally I didn't plan to, because I was going to a crew meeting thing at a corn maze. But it started to rain, right? So the corn maze got canceled. But I didn't know that before I left to go to this game, because it hadn't been canceled yet. So I went to this game, right? And
yep.
I was expecting to leave, right? I didn't have to be there until 1 o'clock. And then we were going to leave at 4:30. So I was like, alright, yeah, 3.5 hours, that's not bad. I'm cool with staying for that long. And then the corn maze gets canceled, and I'm there for the entire stinking time!
That's tough.
Yeah, but it's still better than, because I've done it before, but most of the time, usually my mom's doing inventory or money, so, or like the cash, so I have to like wait beyond like the time that I'm like supposed to anyway. But like this time she didn't have to, and I was so excited that I got to leave early, and then I didn't get to leave early, and I was so upset. And I was doing ice cream, and I was freezing freaking cold.
Ah. Yeah, it was horrible. The weather was horrible Saturday.
Right, it was god awful. But like I felt even worse for like the little kids coming down. But it was really funny, because here's the whole reason I'm getting to this, is because I have a story to tell about some really drunk lady. And she just like, there was this lady, right? I was selling ice cream, and she and this guy were right next to me, and like on the other side of this post, because I was backed up against a post so nobody could come behind me and like take money or whatever. And then on the other side of the post there was this lady and this guy, and she was just like, "You are my son, I love you so much." And she was so drunk to the point, like, they asked her, "Where are you at?" And she says, "I don't know, I gotta go to a football game." And we were already at the football game, and he was like, "You're already at the football game, you are at an MSU football game." She says, "I gotta go to the football game." And then she asked, or the guy asked, "Where are you?" And she says, "East Lansing," which she was right. Okay, so, and then she says, or
she got that part right.
And then I said, or I didn't say anything, god damn it. And then the guy says, "Who are you with?" And she says, "East Lansing." And
she was like there forever. This guy was just like, all right, we're taking you home. And he's like, the entire time she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And she doesn't even know what she's talking about. She doesn't really know what she's sorry for. But the entire time the guy's just like, you don't have to be sorry, you don't have to be sorry, it's fine, you're drunk, we're going home. It's rainy, it's cold, we want to go home anyway. And she just continues going on. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And like, I'm guessing what is the guy's girlfriend comes up and she takes something from him so he can like help his mom or whatever. And like, he turns to her to get whatever it is from her. And then his mom just freaking falls over on the ground. She tries to leave and just falls over. And it was so funny. I was trying so hard not to laugh.
Wow.
There were some really dumb things that happened there.
I love drunk people. They just do the funniest stuff. Which brings up a drunk story of my own at an MSU football game. I went to the homecoming football game. Whenever that was. Crap. What is the menu? Oh.
The football game was on Friday. That was the light show, which I was also at.
I'm talking about MSU.
Oh, we're
Homecoming
still talking
football game.
I thought we were talking about the other thing.
MSU homecoming football game. It was in September something. I don't remember. Anyway, we were in the very like upper part. And
Yeah.
it was like just after halftime. This lady who was wasted, is coming up the stairs. There was like this couple who was wasted before they even got into the game, and then she was a lot more drunk than he was. She's coming up the stairs with either nachos or pretzel with cheese. And I look away for just a second, but it's the worst second to look away because then I hear a crash on the stairs and she's down with cheese all over her shirt.
Oh my
She
god.
laughed it off. It was hilarious. Which also brings me up to the another thing that happened at the basketball game last night. The girl was walking down the stairs and she slipped and crashed onto the stairs. It was the whole stupidest thing ever. It was hilarious. And she wasn't even drunk either. You know, it was a school event. And it was hilarious.
It just kind of happened.
Falling incidents back to back for you right there.
Just so you guys know what I'm talking about, because it's ancient at this point. It's probably like 6 years old, if we're being honest.
It is 6 years old. It literally is. Because I worked for Concessions again. I remember it was the last home football game of 2019 before we went to we made the playoffs that year, so it was actually the second to last, actually. Last regular season game was our big rivalry game. And I bowled on the high school team. And so it was a requirement, not just for the bowling team, but for all other sports teams, besides football, obviously, to work concessions or like one of the concession stands at the football games. Now, I already I was pretty familiar with concessions already. During my time and my brother's time in high school, my dad was very involved with concessions. He would help get supplies, and he would go to the grounds on off days and would help stock stuff, make sure everything was powered on correctly, and even help clean a little bit. So I spent a good amount of time in those concession stands during non-business hours. Nothing crazy happened, so we'll leave it at that. But for this game, I was with my whole team, and I think there was another team there that was helping out at the other concession stand. I don't remember. All I remember was there were way too many people working, so it was way too crowded. I had nothing to do. I couldn't take cash. I couldn't take any money. I helped get some popcorn when people ordered popcorn. And then I helped stock some candy, I think. That was it. And I barely did any of that because there were 5 other people with the same job. So I was eighth man up, So and this is not the Detroit Lions secondary. I never got a shot. Okay? It was whatever. Most of the time I was there, I just watched I just ended up, like, most of the time I was there just watching the football game. Or I think I ran into Eli at one point and just started talking to him out of random. Because I had nothing else to do. And then I got to stay and watch the game, and we won the game. It was a huge win. And so I had to help clean up and stuff. And it was, so I got to stay later. I got to eat some free food. So, it was fine. I really didn't mind doing it, except it was cold. And it was annoying because I was just standing there doing nothing. And I was like, I could rather be home right now playing video games or sleeping or doing anything else.
Or doing podcast time.
Well, weren't you in the band? So you would have been at the game anyways.
Oh, I probably was at the game then, yeah.
So you would have been at the game. So we couldn't do podcast time because you were at the game.
Well, that makes it even more unlikely that we did the podcast immediately after the game. We must have done it like the weekend of.
Probably.
But I don't know, like I said, I'll put in the clip. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
But, yeah, I mean, other than that, it was fine. Glad I never did football concessions again, though. Because, God, it was just not fun. The second time I did it was in that spring for the basketball game. It was, I think it was a girls' basketball game. It was March 2020. You know what was coming along then? Yeah, this was like 2 days before the world shut down for COVID. So
the world. It's such an accurate description, but it's so funny to hear. The world shut down.
COVID was already ramping up, and they debated even canceling the game, but they played on with it anyways. But everybody was really heightened because of potential germ spreading and all this bullshit. So, my duty while doing concessions for the basketball games was a lot less extensive. It was a lot less extensive than football. I don't even remember why I was there. I don't know if I was required to do it because I was in bowling again or what. I genuinely do not know why I was there. I really don't. I really wish I wasn't there.
Real.
If I had to guess, it was probably because I was, again, required to do it because of bowling. But I don't know. So, my duties consisted of, again, giving out food, stocking stuff, mostly, again, standing around and doing nothing. And I remember one time, like, we were just standing around, there was nobody around, so I went to check my phone, and I was wearing plastic gloves. Obviously, regardless if it was COVID or not, you had to wear plastic gloves because you're handling food, right? So I took the glove off to check my phone, because the glove was covered in grease. And then the guy who was running it comes out just freaking out that I'm on my phone. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? He's like, you're gonna pass on COVID. Shh. I'm like, goddamn.
Did you pass on COVID?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't.
What a shame.
So other than that, I mean, again, pretty fucking boring. I remember walking out of the school that night with like a bunch of expired pop that we were going to take home because couldn't serve it anymore. It was expired. And I was like, this is great. And then 2 days later, the world shut down, and here we are now.
2 days later?
It was like 2 days later. It was the week of it happening.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
sad.
wild.
But anyway, that was my time working concessions. We'll get back to concessions a little bit later, because I have a lot more heightened knowledge about concessions now in my more experienced years. But I did one more thing while I was in high school. This was the bigger part of it all, of the three things that I did as far as jobs, quote unquote. National Honor Society. You guys know what that is? Yeah, I was a member of the National Honor Society.
I was too for a little bit.
In junior high and high school, I was a member of it. But this mostly pertains to high school. I guess a little bit junior high too. I honestly really don't remember. I don't. Most of the stuff that I did, a lot of the stuff that I did in the National Honor Society, wasn't really even work. It was mostly just attending meetings and maybe filling out a couple of things, or like writing a paper or going to an induction ceremony. But I remember specifically when I was in high school that we had to have a specific amount of hours of volunteer work that we did. And then we had to log it. And then one of our teachers who was running the National Honor Society program, you know who he is. I'm not going to name him here, but no one knows who he is. He would have to check it, and then, you get it approved and you do whatever. Now, did I talk about... So, some of the stuff that I've already talked about in past episodes, like the leaf raking at church, I did a lot of things at church that I just logged as National Honor Society hours, because it was pretty hard to find stuff to do to get volunteer work. Like, most of the stuff that they had posted on this little, like, community board, online community board, like, where people could go to sign up to do stuff to help out, it was either asininely boring and also way out of something that I could ever do, or get taken up really quickly, or it was so insignificant time-wise that it wasn't even worth my time to sign up for it. It was mostly like tutoring. It was do you think I could be a tutor? No, I can't be a tutor. Sorry.
Too dumb.
True.
Too dumb.
I don't even remember what the other ones were. I think it mostly was just tutoring, and I didn't want to tutor. So I found other ways to log hours. A lot of church stuff, like I said, the leaf raking, a lot of other stuff that we did for the church, I logged as National Honor Society hours, and I got that approved. And then a lot of other stuff that I did, I often got like exceptions, and I would like get just like random hours thrown in because the guy who ran it really liked me. So it was nice because I was having a really hard time finding hours. But then also COVID hit, so when it became really hard to do any volunteer work at all, you just kind of got free passes, and they didn't really care about the hours anymore. So that was great.
In general, anything at that point. Like, I think when the world shut down, all the schools were just like, meh, fuck it, whatever. It was a pretty common consensus at the time.
But another thing that I got a good source of hours out of was helping out at my mom's school. My mom's a teacher, and they have a lot of... It's an elementary school, so they have a lot of events, especially in the fall. And they often need volunteers to help run the events. Not so much anymore, but back when I was doing the National Honor Society program, there were a lot. And often, since my mom already worked there, I needed the volunteer hours. I just ended up going to help. I helped before I was in the National Honor Society, and then I just got like bonus stuff to help out with. But one of the big things that I did was like I would just go and help set up her classroom or take it down at the end of the year. I would go and I would help set up stuff. I would help when they got some landscaping done. I helped put down some wood chips, or I helped out like events. There was one event time, I think it was like the book fair or some sort of like fair that they were doing. I don't remember exactly what it was. All I know was it was a cold, dark Tuesday night, and I went into the, I was in their library, And I just... all I did, like, barely anybody else was in the library, and I just, like, hung out there and did nothing for, I shit you not, like, maybe 5 hours. It was a long time that I was in this library, and I think my phone was dead, or I didn't even bring it, or whatever, and I had nothing to do. And I was really bored and started freaking out at one point, and I was just like, great. This is awesome. So I got abandoned in a library.
Based.
I didn't even read anything because they were all children's books. There's no
What?
Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. That would have passed the time.
He can't read anyway. It don't matter.
True.
True. Wild.
Another one. It was like their fall festival thing or whatever. And I was helping out working some of the games, but then I was also playing the games because I was I could play the games. And there was one game in particular, I'll never forget that because it really pissed me off, and it still does to this day. It was like a number guessing game, and and the incentive to complete all the games was you got like a special prize at the end. You got like a cookie or something at the end. I don't fucking remember.
What? A cookie?
So I completed all the games up until this point, except for the last game, and it was a guessing game. It was like a number guessing game where like you had to stand on the correct platform, and you won. And I tried for several hours to beat this game, and I couldn't do it. I was so pissed off. In fact, I never even won the game. I never even won. They just took mercy on me because it was about to be over, and they just gave me the thing anyways. Oh God. Other than that, it was fine.
And after all this, they wanted you to tutor some kids.
Yeah. I know, that's why I never signed up for any tutoring. Could you imagine if me, Pringleson, signed up to tutor kids in school? In math, more specifically?
I tutored a couple kids.
I could probably do it.
online.
I could probably do it, but I don't want to.
I say I tutored. Neither one of them showed up to like half of the things that we did. So like it was very much so like I was there in a call waiting for them, and then they would show up for like 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, I gotta go." You know, these kids don't need a tutor; they need time management skills.
Words of advice from Jeffy.
Words of advice from Jeffy. Never mind. I was gonna say something. I think just like intuitionally, I think you know where I might have gone with that, but I'm not gonna do it.
I do. You need to stop. You need to stop now. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I helped out at my mom's school a lot. Sometimes I still do. Sometimes, not as much as I used to, but sometimes I still do. It's fine.
Whenever it's show and tell day, your mom brings in you.
True.
This is my son Tyler. He's an internet star.
And that's the last thing that those kids need is another internet star.
That's true. That's very Jeffy.
The other one I remember distinctively working was freshman year. I think it was over the summer. I worked at our local farmers market. More specifically, I worked in one of the back booths where you could exchange money for tokens to pay for stuff with. And I remember it distinctively only for one reason and one reason only. And it's because every time somebody came up to turn in coins or exchange money for coins, I had to say debit or credit, debit or credit, debit or credit, debit or credit, debit or credit. There was different coins. It was debit or credit. It was like a blue coin for debit or red for credit or some bullshit. Oh, whatever. Yeah, that's all I remember from that. Otherwise, it was really fucking boring. The other girl I worked with creeped me out a little bit.
This is weird. I don't know why this is in this category.
That was it. So, yeah, National Honor Society was fine. I think it helped propel me to college more than the other two things did. Well, especially the concessions. The concessions did not help at all. I didn't even put it on my college resume. But I think National Honor Society definitely was, like, the big push. And, like, I guess I'm glad I did it. I don't know. I mean, like, it wasn't... I didn't take it seriously enough. Let's just say that. Maybe if I'd taken it a little bit more seriously, maybe I'd think about it differently. But I really don't...
There's a reason you didn't take National Honor Society seriously.
I really don't regret...
Because it's a joke.
I don't really regret not taking it seriously because I did fine in the end of the day, and I'm here.
It's a joke for the smart kids to enjoy.
I have a degree. I'm here doing what I love, and it's over. I'm not going back. Kiss my ass.
National Honor Society is one of the biggest fucking jokes on the planet. It exists specifically as a form of free child labor and something for people to flaunt. Oh, look at me, I'm in the National Honor Society. You know who else was in the National Honor Society? Me. So you can't be that good if I got in.
Drew.
Just saying. One of us got Manager of the Month, and the other people are making OnlyFans accounts. I don't know that. I don't know what anybody we went to school with is up to. We should go to a reunion, by the way. We should totally do that.
Oh, fuck me. I don't even know if I should talk about this on camera.
Well, now you have to.
Well, a couple of them did actually make OnlyFans accounts.
Just so I know how to avoid them, who are they?
I'm not saying who they are! I'll tell you when it's over. I'll tell you who it is when
Text
it's
it
over.
to me.
I'll tell you when it's over.
Text it to me. I want to know.
Make a note. I'll talk about it afterwards. I don't know their name.
Fine.
I don't know their name off the top of my head.
Oh. Oh, the idea. I do know. I do know some of them have kids. No, never mind. None of those people were in National Honor Society. The problem is the people who I was friends with were not in National Honor Society. Or there are people who I'm still friends with. Like you.
I was in it. I just talked about it.
I know.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. You were in it. The only people that I know that I was friends with that were in National Honor Society are people I'm still friends with now. Everybody else I was friends with was not in National Honor Society. I mean, fucking Blaze didn't graduate for like a whole 2 years after we did. Poor guy. Yeah, so I have no idea when any of those kids are going on.
Yeah.
I do think we should go to a reunion though. I love how cringy it sounds. I cannot wait to like just cringe out of my mind when Brock Mason walks in those fucking doors. I've just gotta know. I've just gotta know what these people have been up to.
High school reunion would go wild.
I think it would be awful, and I cannot wait.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but who knows?
It better. It better. It's the only reason I went to school is for the reunions. I just can't wait to see the people who I just knew were never going to get anywhere in life, not gone anywhere in life. Oh, I'm so excited. It sounds awful, and I'm an awful person for saying it, but man, do these people deserve to have shit lives. Some of them. But also, it'd be cool to see people who I was friends with that I haven't seen in a long time. But most of those people are not going to reunions, so I don't know what the point is, and I don't know who's going. So I know I am, and I know I'm dragging Tyler there with me.
Oh, I'd go. I'd have to go. We give out merch.
Yeah! You have to make sure that you are internet famous before the reunion, so that when we go,
Well, they don't
can
do
vlog
reunions until like 25 years, so we got time.
I don't know if that's enough time.
You think I'm not gonna? You don't think that anything would take off for 2046? And we got 21 years still. I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers.
You are not at 1,000 subscribers.
I said I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers, not at 1,000.
We've been saying you're about to hit 1,000 subscribers for 2 years.
How many am I at now? Let's take a look. 915. We're 85 away.
Start making alts, guys. Let's go.
I still haven't.
Famous before 2046.
I still haven't finished Rock of Love Season 2 from Papa Meat. Whoops, forgot about that.
It's a 3-hour video. I've not finished it either.
I'm almost done. I'll probably finish tomorrow. We'll see.
God. But yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna vlog it. We're gonna record them without.
We're not gonna vlog it. I don't know how well that would go. It's gonna be a podcast topic afterwards.
I think it'll be great. I think we should vlog it. I'm going to, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna vlog it.
Oh God.
Oh. We also need to get buff. We need to get muscled up before we go. We need to get. I almost said woke. That's not the word, is it? What the fuck is the word?
Why are we gonna beat the shit out of all the people when we get there?
Oh, we gotta walk in like this, though.
I think we could do that, regardless of our buff.
Yeah, but we gotta be huge. We gotta be massive.
Well, we're already massive.
Different kind of massive. Right now we're missive. We need to be massive.
What? What?
Yeah.
Alright, well. That was that for me. Safe to say, I'm glad I got out of that era of work in high school. And I've got much better work now, so.
Is it my turn? Is that it for you?
Yeah, it's your turn.
So Jeffy also has experience in concessions. Jeffy technically did also do concessions for school in more than one way. 2 ways.
More than one!
Two is in fact more than one.
Some great math we got here!
This is why I was a tutor and you weren't. I know my math. Anyway. So there used to be this thing, and it doesn't exist anymore, which sucks, but, you know. I started doing the face.
Jimmy jump scare!
I started doing the face before I had any idea what I was gonna say. So I just got caught going. I was like, where do I go from here? Oh, that's funny as hell. Ugh. Anyway, whew. I used to do it for our elementary school as a fundraiser for them. At MSU, at the football games. For every home game. I would go volunteer to work concessions. Whew, I'm still dying. And so it's about as concessions as you would imagine it could be. Where, you just sit there in a hot box and you make food for people. I've had multiple jobs in the concessions in the 2 or 3 years that I did that. But one of the big ones was I was the cheese guy. I had the nacho cheese machine, and I would take the buns and I would put the buns in the plastic, and then they would be ready. And then when I wasn't doing that, I was filling cups of cheese and changing out the cheese machine. Now, something you never think about, ever, because I don't know why you would. You would never be in a situation where you have access to this much cheese, or in a situation where, the cheese is this hot. And if you are, I think you got bigger problems to worry about, to be honest, if you're in a room with that much hot cheese. But anyway, it's cheese. It's hot. It's really, really hot. And I have on several occasions burned myself with hot cheese. Because when you change out, you got to take the thing off the top. And you pull the bag out. And it's hooked in on the bottom where the actual twist off thing for the cheese goes. I don't think it was a twist off. I think it was a pull thing. But either way. Yeah. That sits down here in the dispenser. So when you press the button, the cheese comes out, right? And then there's the bag up here. So you have to grab it down here and grab it up here. Take it out. Throw it away and grab another thing of cheese to put in there. But it's usually pretty messy. And I would at least be wearing gloves so the cheese wasn't directly on my skin. But you would get in there and you would just grab this cheese and it'd be you'd be playing hot potato with the bag of cheese, with an old bag of cheese. Could you pull that out? You'd be like, ow, 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 ow. And the trash can that's halfway across the room, which mind you is only 4 feet away, but the room is very small. So it is halfway across the room, so shut up. But you would burn yourself every time you move the cheese bags, right? So that was something that I had to do. And this was back in the good days of MSU concessions, where we had the pretzels that were we had pizza pretzels and cream cheese stuffed pretzels and stuff.
Oh, wow.
I miss them. I really wish I could have one again. But unfortunately, we live in a world where nobody can have nice things. And the government is controlled by morons. So, here we are. Woohoo! Football! We're also in a world where it's hard to tell which NFL teams are good and bad, because they all kind of just suck. So, concessions might also be affected by that. Not college concessions, that's a little bit different, but MSU does just suck as a football team, so there's that. But anyway, we had these pretzels, and so we were one of the pretzel stands that had the specialty pretzels, so we had to make the specialty pretzels. So not only did we have a pretzel spinner, but we had these pretzel trays, or whatever, because there was a fucking massive pretzel that we sold. I can't remember what it was called, but it was huge. And so I was also responsible for putting in new pretzels into the thing. And that was usually fine. Working concessions, the hardest part is taking the money, I would say. And I think I did that at least once. I know I did, we'll get to it in a second, but I did ice cream, which was not in the hot box, so I did that, and I had to handle money that time. But if you're actually the lines of people down the frickin' hallways, in the good old days of MSU, where there were people who went to the football games, and it's not just as dead as it is now, and the football team didn't suck nearly as bad, and Mel wasn't a predator.
Well, Yeah, well.
So the air in the stadium was different, and a lot busier. So that was. I'm trying to like place it in my head where it took place as far as like the jobs that I've done. I think it might have been my first experience with cash, but also maybe not. Because technically Boy Scout popcorn would be, but I definitely didn't count that because it was mostly my parents handling the cash and not me. I mostly just sold it. I did the job, they counted the cash, you know. And then I worked at a pet store, and I think that was after. I know that I turned 18. No, that must have been at this. I must have been doing them both around the same time because I think I had to be 18 to handle cash at the stadium. I didn't have to be 18 to handle cash at the pet store, and I know that I turned 18 while I was in the pet store because we talked about it because T-Dog, is that what I called him? T-Dog gave me condoms when I turned 18 and said, "You're legal now." Remember that? Remember me telling you that?
I do remember that.
Okay. So, cash at the stadium, which they don't take anymore.
They do not. Not for concessions, at least.
So, much easier now. But also, I can't even volunteer to do concessions for good causes anymore because they don't like good causes at MSU Stadium. They only like Hitler facts.
True.
Just saying, we're 2 for 2. 2 for 2 on bad things that MSU football has had. And there's many more bad things coming. June 5th, 1994. When that year comes up, a bad thing will happen. Specifically June 5th of 1994. 1994-2.
Point two.
Point 2. But anyway, so you get a lot of that, like, rushing thing where the thousands of people rush you, and people are like, I want hot dog! Give me hot dog! And you're like, I will get you hot dog! $10, please! And then they give you $10, but they're also like, $10, that's too much money! I want hot dog! I want hot dog for $5! And you're like, only $10 hot dog! And then they're like, blah, 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 blah. But they still give you the money, and you still give them the hot dog, and they whine all the way back to their seat. But anyway, what was I saying?
Hot dog!
Oh yeah, hot dog! And then the next person comes in, and then they're like, pretzel, give me pretzel, I want pizza pretzel, please. And then, you know, me being the pretzel guy, I would be like, oh, they want a pretzel, I'll get them a pretzel. And then I have to, like, listen to what they're saying, right? Because they're like, I want pretzel, but there's also like 2 other cash registers, maybe just one more, but either way. Well, there's this one person, hot dog, and then the next person, pretzel, give me pretzel. But then the other cashiers are also like, pretzel, I want hot dog, I want popcorn, give me popcorn, soda. But I would have to listen because it would be pretzel, hot dog, pretzel, hot dog. Anytime I heard pretzel, I had to be like, ooh, pretzel time! Bonk, bonk. And take a pretzel, hui, bag, hui, for you. Da, 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 da. And then I would put more pretzel in the thingy. And then it would spin around and cook the pretzels. But also I had to listen for like, because it would be pretzel, hot dog, pretzel, cheese for my pretzel. And then I'd be like, oh, cheese for the pretzel. Press the button, cheese in a cup, give them the cheese in a cup. And it would be just that, it would be literally that chaotic. I'd literally be like, for like 4 hours. And that was my experience inside the hot box. There were a couple other things because my mom, I think, she ran it or something like that, so I had to be there early and I was left after the game, which kind of sucked, but also no traffic, so that helps. So we had to clean up and we had to like set everything up. And the best part is when you volunteer, you get one free pop that you can refill the whole time you're there, because you have access to the things to refill them right behind you, and you get either a free hot dog or a free pretzel. And so I ate a lot of free pretzels, and that was like super awesome. By the way, I loved that, the free pretzel, and like I would always get like the Powerade fruit punch or whatever that they had, just because soda could be a bit much, and the Powerade wasn't carbonated, so I could down it faster. So in between pretzel, cheese, pretzel, pretzel, I could get it down real quickly, very fast actually. And then it would be like, ding 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 ding, half time, pretzel, hot dog, pretzel. And then the game would start up again and be like, I'm gonna go get me my free pretzel now, bye. And then I would go get my pretzel. And then I would go eat the pretzel for like 10 minutes. And then come back. And immediately when I come back, pretzel, hot dog, pretzel. It went on like that for a long time when I was in the hot box doing pretzels and cheese and buns. They had this really cool hot dog cooking machine that was like, it was like a conveyor belt. It would take them in, they would go around, and they would come out, and I think they would fall into like a bucket of hot dogs after they went done cooking. So then we would take the bucket of hot dogs, boom, and then the buns that I bagged would be ready to go, and you'd take the hot dog, you slide it in the bag. You take the hot dog, you slide it in the bag. You take the hot dog, you slide it in the bag. Hot dog, pretzel, hot dog, cheese. And it was pretty chaotic. So it went by fairly quickly. There was one time where there was a thunderstorm and the game got delayed, and we had to hunker down in the hot box, and we all just sat around and did nothing for 3 hours because there was a chance that they might. I know you know what I'm talking about because you work these, so you know what this is like.
Oh, I know exactly what game.
I
know what game you're talking about too. I think, but. That was I wasn't at that game, but
I think the game eventually got canceled. But we were there, sitting in a box for 3 hours, doing nothing, and we couldn't sell anything. We legitimately, they would not let us sell anything. We had to close our thing, and then we just sat there and just hung out for a while, and that was a little awful. And just like Tyler's jobs, I didn't get paid for this. I did this for the fun of the game. And for the experience, because there is something to like the way it used to be at these stadiums, and I know it's different now because I literally just went to that football game the other day with you, Ann, and Eli. Lycus was sick; he couldn't be there. But it just wasn't as, and mind you, it was not like a crazy game. It was a lot closer than it should have been. But also, half the games I worked concessions for weren't crazy games. And they were crazier than this was. And I think a lot of that comes down to everything that's changed, which we'll get into. But it was like the atmosphere of being there was so awesome. And you worked with a lot of people. And you learned a lot about people. And, Z-Dog, I think, was there a couple times. People that I knew were there a couple times. Garrett worked at a couple. Remember Garrett, 6'4"?
Yeah, I remember him.
I worked a couple of those with him. That was fun. Yeah, so it was an experience. It was a fun experience. You were there and you were having a good time, and you were just like, the game was going on, so you were aware of the game, but you're also just kind of like, pretzel, hot dog, pretzel, hot dog. And the other thing that I did, which was not as fun, and in fact I would say sucked most of the time, was the ice cream. Selling the ice cream sucked. because it didn't matter how freaking cold it was. People still wanted to buy ice cream. I'm looking at you, Ann Pomeroy, and you, Pringleson, with your melting moments.
Love melting moments.
A cookie sandwich. It's overpriced already, but it's... Hey guys, it's only ever been $5, but, you know, we're not going to tell you that's overpriced, and that's why it's been $5 for 20 years, but, you know... The hype train people will still be like...
Oh my god! I just remembered we gotta go to the Melting Moments store when I go downstate for that football game in a couple weeks. That football game that probably will have already happened by the time this episode comes out, so I don't know why I'm putting this
Probably not. Probably not, because this will probably come out next week.
Oh, that's true!
I've got one more Strolling and Trolling to put up, and then it's just work stories until Lycus decides he wants to record again, I guess.
That'll be the week after, okay.
But, yeah, so ice cream sucked. You were out there in the freezing cold. It would literally be snowing. At MSU Stadium, there's like these giant slits that go straight outside, and the snow would just come right into the stadium. And I would just be out there. And people would come up to me and be like, I want Melting Moments. They're really good. They're special ice cream sandwiches, and they only cost $5. And I'd be like, okay, $5, please. And then I'd open the thing, give them a Melting Moment, and then 20 minutes would go by until I had another person to give a fucking ice cream to. Because the real people, the people who knew what they were doing, were not getting ice cream when it was snowing outside. But the Melting Moment truthers of this world, the tinfoil hat wearing motherfuckers that they are, will get it anytime, just because of it's a $5 two cookie with ice cream, vanilla ice cream in between it. I can make better Melting Moments at home for less than $5. Just saying. Just saying.
Should do that.
I know you know about cookie dough, Tyler. I know you love cookie dough.
We should do that sometime. Homemade ice cream sandwiches.
It's not that hard.
I know it's not that hard. We should do it sometime.
For like a video?
I don't know, just...
Actually, what if we did do it for a video and we did like weird combinations? I don't know how weird we can get it with ice cream. Well, unless we made ice cream too.
No.
Then we could do like mustard ice cream and ketchup
Ugh.
cookies.
Ugh, fuck no. Ugh.
We can do a weird thing. I don't know how well a video about us making vanilla and chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwiches will do, but sure, we can do that. I guess that'll be fine, and it'll at least give us something good that we know it will be good. You know, we didn't know that the Mountain Dew casserole was going to be good, but overall, my time in concessions was pretty good, pretty well spent, I'd say. Sad that they don't do that anymore, the volunteering for schools and stuff, but you know, you can something enter to win $2 million, even though the president of MSU makes more than that a year by probably 100 times, 200 times, something like that. He makes more than the president of the United States, so you know, I'm sure he can afford that money. And also that $2 million that these schools can win will just go to the people who suck. So, here we are. How much money did they give to Mel?
They ended up getting out of most of his contract. They didn't have to pay 99% of his contract.
Yeah, but they still paid him before that, and they paid him a butt ton.
Yeah, they paid him way too much. Is the point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. MSU concessions kind of suck now, so.
Yeah, it has gone downhill.
No cash.
That's
an issue.
No cash. There's more variety, but that's a farce because everything that's new is out of stock before the game even starts. Like the Little Caesars pizza that's more pricey than at a Tigers playoff game by $3. Explain that
Tigers
one.
are a professional team, by the way, not college sports.
But then also, the buffalo chicken sandwiches are pretty good. The brisket sandwiches are pretty good. outside of that, it's all worse than it was before. The hot dogs are worse. The pretzels are worse. The melting moments are still the same. Yeah, and then all the other stuff you can't get because it's out of stock.
But you can buy alcohol now.
You can buy alcohol.
Who cares? That's my opinion.
It's been a moneymaker, so they don't really care.
Yeah, it costs a fucking arm and a leg to buy it, too. It's insane.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I never do it. But other people do. So. Including my dad.
Your dad buys alcohol while he's there?
He bought some at the Tigers playoff game. He didn't buy any at the football games, but he buys them at
I was about to say, that's different, I think. Why does the thing keep telling me my camera's on? I know my camera is on, asshole.
So, yeah, a new company took over Concessions, and they got rid of the school thing. They got rid of a lot of the fun stuff. They're getting better with operations. I've been pretty pissed off with them though, because they're an international company, not just a national company, international. Yet they can't find enough staffing for the events. I don't understand why.
That wasn't a problem when you had people to volunteer.
Exactly.
With the idea that I think it obviously wasn't all of the money you raised from selling stuff went back to the school or whatever, but it was like a decent enough portion of the money that it mattered. You know what I mean?
I think it was
and there were a lot of
75%?
people in there. There were a lot of people in there. Like there was I think Girl Scouts had a booth as well. Like there were a lot of.
Oh yeah, a lot of groups helped out.
Concessions
They helped
people
out
there,
at football games, basketball games too.
Yep.
There was a big one. I think my dad even helped out at a couple basketball games doing concessions.
My mom always
MSU.
did the basketball game once, but I never went to one.
They might have done it for hockey. I don't remember.
But yeah, screw the people who do better for their community. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So that's really all I got. I don't know. Intern. I didn't like Concessions because I don't like working with food. Okay. That's my main thing. I don't like working with food. So that's why I would never do anything Concessions related again. Or anything more food related. It's not that it would suck because I hate working with food, but kind of get the gist. And the last time I started working with food, we had a pandemic, so I don't think we need that to happen again.
Wouldn't be the last time I worked with food. Sneak peek for next week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Which was the last time I worked with food. Well, technically. In the form of working with it that I was working with it, but yeah, we'll get into that next time.
That'll be next
and
episode.
Maybe,
sneak peek.
Maybe we'll have somebody else with us. It won't be like us. I can tell you that.
But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. Stay tuned for next time. It'll be a Jeffy focused episode. Hint, hint. So until next time, see you guys later.
Cheese, pretzel, hot dog, cheese, pretzel, hot dog,